You know, for me, Los Angeles is a character in my novels. I'm a native. My parents both were not natives of Los Angeles, and so my sense of LA history is framed and is kind of refracted through their eyes.
I would say, number one, Wanda Coleman is a huge inspiration for me. She is an LA treasure. I feel like she is, you know, the poet laureate of Los Angeles.
I started out to be a musician. I was going to be a concert violinist, and I was a pianist, and I had to give it up in my teenage years following an illness. So similar to jazz musicians who hear the rhythms of the city, I hear the rhythms too. But since I opted to become a writer, I wanted to get those rhythms into my language. You know, the sounds of LA.
Writing about Black Los Angeles gave me an opportunity, Black Hollywood in the second book, Stormy Weather, gave me an opportunity to write about Blacks' role in filmmaking. And so there were many people who said, wow, I had no idea. You know, I didn't know that there were all of these Black filmmakers in the 30s, because I write about a man who's a contemporary of theirs.
The first thing that popped into my mind was Zora Neale Hurston's quote about that the Black woman is the donkey of the earth, and it's such a cynical point of view, but at times you can feel that when you look at film, for example, and you feel misrepresented, or even white female images of just the girlfriend or sort of the prop or the trophy. But that's not always the case, because there are stories out there that are rich with the truth of all that we are.
When I was evolving, there was no one to nurture me. So I had to kind of find my path. There was no core, no center, no heart, no plaza. So the automobile made it possible for me to pursue my muse, so to speak. And I could only pursue it to the extent that I had the gas money.
I think what we do is we, on some very basic level, tell readers that your experience is valid. We're telling them that your lives matter, that someone notices you and notices the particularity of your life. And I think that kind of validation is very important, especially in Los Angeles, which is so much about external, and it's so much about the fame machine and about the glory machine and the bigger house machine and all of those things that take us away from our center.
What you have to understand is you need to believe in yourself, first of all. It's great to have mentors. I've had mentors. I actually mentor a child as well, and I do a lot of work with kids. But what's most important is that you believe in yourself and you believe in your work, because at the end of the day, it's you who is creating.
Everyone can remember where they were when a major tragedy happened. I was sitting in my 6th grade class reading a love note from the boy who sat behind me when the principal's office scratched over the loudspeaker, broken up from the system's feedback and his own emotions, to tell us that President Kennedy had been shot. My father was barbecuing near our swimming pool when we saw the fires burning in Watts that first August evening in '65.
Grandma puts me in the bathtub at home, the soap smelling like lemons, and Grandma's hands huge and soft with rough lines, splashing the bubbles over my body till it soothes me to sleep. I wake to the smell of fried bananas, black-eyed peas, and coconut rice. I hug Grandma from behind and ask her, what's wrong with that white woman at Boogie's? She had a facelift, Grandma says.
Loving your outsiders, your street racers, dragsters, lowriders, cruiser bruisers, cowboys, and crip dogs. The lonely who find solace traversing freeway interchanges. The lonely who drive slowly, seeking the answer in shadowy doorways, off alleys, on gas station service lots after closing. The lonely who get off on eyes found only in the dark corners of certain clubs. LA, you hot, but you're too damn cold to love.